I appreciate that. I can, thank you, babies.
All right, what's your name? What's your question?
My name is Rachel, and hold on, I gotta bring it up. Okay, so I am a mother of two and have been separated from my husband for a year and a half. We've been together for 10 years and married for 7 years. He's cheated on me several times throughout the years, and the separation was mutual, but ultimately he initiated it. And I thought I had gave him, but when certain situations happen, I found that I have not. How do I forgive something I cannot forget and ultimately move on and find peace within myself? Because I do still love him.
So you want to be with him still? Because you can forgive and move on, right? You can forgive and turn a chapter. You can forgive and still choose you. You can forgive and not fuck with nobody no more. All right, so when you say forgive, you mean forgive and stay and give a second chance, right?
Well, during the separation, we tried several times. In those times, we tried. He's let me know he's been with other women, and it just doesn't work out. I wanted to try for the kids, and also because I do want to be him. But okay, flesh me want him, but spiritually me do not want him. So I'm trying to figure out how to heal fleshly me so I can move on, because I know God don't want me to be with him.
When you say fleshly needs, you mean you still enjoy being intimate with him?
I have been intimate with him for a year and a half.
Say that again?
I have not been intimate with him for a year and a half.
So what are your fleshly needs and connections to him?
I don't know. I think I'm just dumb. I don't like.
They got
like, it could be the kids. It could be like the years we've been together. And I was he did provide for me. Like, I was a stay-at-home mom for 6 years during that time, and he did financially provide for me during that.
So the question is, I want to, so that we can bounce it to the panelists. Mm-hmm. So basically you're saying you want to know, how can you forgive so you can stay? Or right now you want advice as to how to figure out what you should do.
How to figure out on what I should do.
Okay, cool. Anybody?
In my opinion, you sound comfortable, right? And the comfort zone is all nice, cozy, and cute, but nothing grows in the comfort zone. And it sounds for a very long time, you've been very stagnant. If you say that man is telling you now he's been with other women during your separation, it's no different from him being with women when y'all was together. Mm-hmm. This is the exact same thing. He's still the exact same person. So you're going to be walking yourself right back into the exact same hurt. One thing I could tell you from personal experiences, sometimes it's best to move on. And the thing about it is when you reach a point, you look back and say, all of it was for a reason. I know right now it seems the best thing you can do is stay together for them kids. But honestly, for a child, the best thing you can do is be happy. Every kid needs a happy mom. They deserve that. And in exchange for your happiness, you're going to trade it for years of misery going forward. So I'm going to tell you right now, in my opinion, I can't speak for nobody up here. Personally, it's time for you to find you. Move on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was also going to say that oftentimes folks don't want to leave relationships because leaving equates to change. And change then forces you to grow. It forces you to do something different. And it forces you to really see yourself. And you have become comfortable, like Dimitri said, and have developed a norm in this dysfunction, in this dismantling, and in this relationship that has been nothing but deceptive. And so for you to leave means that you'd have to be different. That means you'd have to muscle up. That means you'd have to learn boundaries and self-love and be a different mother and be a different woman and choose different and do all those things. And oftentimes folks just don't want to do that. And so my question to you is, do you want different? Do you want a healing journey? Do you want to grow? Do you want self-love? Do you want to be vertical in who you are? Do you want to square and stand on it? Or do you want to stay in your dysfunction? To me, it's as easy as which narrative do you want to create and what reality do you want to live in?
I think some of us be more in love with our routine than the actual person. And that's what this sounds like to me. Because don't get me wrong, like, love is complicated, but it shouldn't be that much conflict and the will to stay. Now, how we're gonna do it, how we're gonna go about it, the steps we're gonna take, yeah, it's gonna be difficulty there. But do I wanna be with him? That shouldn't be that hard of a decision. But I think what it is again, we fall in love with our routine. Like, certain time of day, he's there. We pick the kids up this way. We do this, we do that. We lay up, we watch shows, we do. And that's the hardest part of breaking up, is because every time you go through that day, you start to see those voids of the time we used to spend, or the things we used to do, the inside jokes, the laughs, all of these things. But in terms of the person, I think he's kind of showed you who he is, and I think you know that. But I think the thing you're trying to grasp is like, now, how do I let go of this routine? And that's going to take work, but I just don't want you to stay for the kids. Again, I come from a situation where parents married 30 years, it was toxic every day. It was arguing every day. You know what I mean? And we be thinking that, hey, two-parent household, da-da-da-da. No, a healthy two-parent household is what's going to be most beneficial to those kids. If y'all in that house arguing and it's a bunch of disgust and a bunch of disdain and a bunch of just resentment, those kids can feel it. Like, we really underestimate how kids, like, perceive things, like how in touch with what y'all got going on. You think just because we going in that back room to argue that the kids don't feel that. The kids feel everything. So don't stay in no toxic-ass situation just to say, yeah, I raised my kids in a two-parent household, because sometimes that can lead to the detriment of your kids if it's the wrong situation.
I promise y'all, I'm not trying to keep making this heavy. I'm trying not to. Did you say that you haven't forgiven him?
I thought I have, but when like something happens, I know that I haven't.
That's what I want to speak to for a second. And this is going to be a real mature conversation I got to have with you, because it takes a level of spiritual maturity to understand what I'm about to say. So I hope it doesn't fall on deaf ears. It's the reason why God tells us to forgive. It's not just for the simple fact of giving somebody else power, but forgiving somebody is absolutely freeing, because we hold resentment and bitterness in our heart, and our heart is our soul. And sometimes when God has something for you, it will fall on rocky soil. And when it falls on rocky soil, the blessing that God has for you won't be able to grow and blossom like it needs to, because it'll wilt away because it doesn't have enough moisture. And so sometimes when God is telling us to forgive somebody, it's because he's trying to come in to give you that fertile soil, the ability to be able to grow from it. Whatever God gives you, you got to let go of that resentment and that bitterness. You have to. God is trying to soften your heart. And I know it hurts because he betrayed you and he hurt you. But what if God has something absolutely outstanding? And I'm not just talking about relationships. What if there is a blessing later on down the line for you? And when God gives it to you, you still have a hardened heart. It won't grow. It won't manifest into something great for you. So I encourage you to take it amongst your time to sit in that closet at God's feet, because I've had to do it, and it is not easy. Every single day when that anger showed up again, when that resentment showed up again, when that bitterness went in and it showed up again, I went to God about it every single day. Every single time I did, my heart got softer and softer and softer towards that person, to the point that I was able to see that person dead in their face and not care in the world, because I was able to surrender that to God. And you know what God did? Because I went in and I kept being at God's feet, God changed my heart, because he cleaned out my heart. When we say created me a clean heart, oh Lord, that's what that means. God was able to come in and clean up shop. And then when he had the blessings for me, when he was able to sow those seeds, they were blossoming. They were rapidly growing. They were going into something that I would never be able to explain. And maybe that's something that God has for you. And I say that to anybody in this room right now. If you are struggling with forgiveness, ask God to clean out your heart. Say, create in me a clean heart, oh Lord, because I guarantee you, he's going to come in and start taking all those weeds out, all that anger, all of that frustration, all of that disappointment, all that hurt. And before you know it, you're going to be smiling again. You're going to be joyful again. You're going to be happy again. And you're going to see an abundance, an overflow of oil in your life, an overflow of blessings in your life. The forgiveness is not just about that person. It's about you and your freedom. If you want to know where freedom is, let it go. Surrender that to God. Let God have control. It's the reason why we say that God is sovereign. The word reign is in sovereign. So wherever God is, he is going to reign. So even in your heart, he reigns over all of that pain. He reigns over all of that distress. He reigns over all of that betrayal. Let God be in control. Surrender it. And I guarantee you, because who the Son sets free is free indeed. So I guarantee you there is freedom on the other side when you just say, you know what, I'm letting it go. I don't want it to have control over me anymore. And watch what God do in your life. And take that as somebody who's had to practice it day in and day out. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
I just want to add real quick. I've been doing this for a very long time, and I've never met someone who struggled to walk away from an unhealthy situation who did not have past hurts and traumas that were unresolved. A lot of times we focus on what we're going through or what is very recent to us, but we don't go back deep enough to childhood, to other previous relationships, maybe the first relationship you ever had. And what happens is when we don't resolve these things, that negative energy stays in your system. It stays in your spirit. And now it starts to add to all the new situations and experiences that you have, and it just becomes a bigger and bigger problem. So when you're triggered in that moment, it's not just about him or what he does. It's a culmination of a lot of things you haven't released from your system. So you gotta make sure that you go through a process of emotionally detoxing, letting it all out, going to therapy or coach, whatever, but you need to be able to speak it out or write it out and get through that process of just getting everything off your chest. As Kitty mentioned earlier, you gotta cry, let yourself cry. Let yourself be angry. All these things are emotions and energy that have to come out in order for you to finally move on and detach from these situations.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up.
Woo-wee.
Woo-wee.
All right, so what you got to say? She with her husband, or they was together, and you know he was creeping and cheating and all this other stuff. So she trying to figure out if she should stay or leave, and she got unforgiveness and all that stuff. What you just thinking about this whole situation?
Well, I agree with Kitty that, you know, she just gonna have to surrender. She gonna have to forgive him from her heart. And how you do that is through prayer. Mm-hmm. I've been in her shoes, not in her exact same situation, but just, you know, unforgiveness for people and just being angry and bitter about it. You just got to go to the Lord in it. During your prayer time, you got to tell him how these things make you feel, like what that person did to you, how it made you feel, and how you felt it was wrong, and how you felt like they could have did whatever they did in a different way, and also explain to the Lord what you could have did to make the situation better too. And I'm telling you, the Lord, he will heal your heart. He will. You may have to go back multiple times, and this might be over a span of years. You know, you can feel have that reoccurrence of bitterness come back, but you just keep going to the Lord, and you just keep telling the Lord how you want to forgive, and how could he help you to forgive, and he will continue to keep working on your heart. So it's a continuous thing. It's super continuous. But like Kitty was saying, when you set free, ooh wee, it feels so good. It's like a burden off of your back. You know, you're not carrying around that hurt, that bitterness, that anger. You can look at the person and not, you know, be reminded of what they did or whatnot. So yeah, you got to just keep talking about it with the Lord in prayer every time it agitates you and irritates you. Just keep bringing it to the Lord, and I'm telling you, he will clean it out. Kitty, she wasn't wrong.
It's true. I completely agree. It's time to forgive and keep it moving, and take your kids with you and just keep it moving, because he done showed who he is and what he gonna do. He creeping and cheating and all this other stuff, and clearly not taking the marriage and the situation serious. So no point of holding on to it. Just keep it moving, forgive, and keep it moving. That's really all you can do at this point. I don't even know. Maybe she just needed some encouragement at the end of the day, because it kind of sounded like she knew what she needed to be doing, but for whatever reason, well, rightfully so, that's her husband. She's trying to hold on because she's got those memories and those thoughts, and I'm sure those good times and whatnot. But at the same time, you know, we can't continually keep being disrespected and all this other stuff. You know, sometimes you got to, you know, listen to the Lord and put yourself first in those situations, and put your kids first as well, and they'll be all right. Like they were saying, nobody wants to be in a home where there's back and forth and chaos and everything else, because kids can feel that, and now they growing up all, discombobulated and messed up and stuff because y'all couldn't get it together, and they having all these feelings and all this other stuff. So might as well just nip it in the bud, keep it moving, and just go about your life.
I feel it. I mean, yeah, if he doesn't feel like he's doing anything wrong, if he feels like he's not doing anything wrong and he want to keep going in the way that he's going, then yeah, I would say dissolve the marriage. But but if he does want to rekindle things and walk straight and narrow, then I think it's worth a try for them to get counseling and whatnot. But it seems like really one-sided, at least from the video we saw. But who knows?
It's true. I mean, it sounds like he done made his bed and he know where he's trying to be at the end of the day. I don't know. Even if they do figure it out, he need more than just some counseling to get that together. He needs some deliverance and everything else, because you lusting and going after other women and everything else. Like, it's much deeper than that, than just some counseling and everything else. So there's some major work that's got to be done, and she got to be willing to stick around and stay with him. And yeah, I'm all for marriages being together, because once you make that commitment, it's a lifelong commitment. So I'm all for sticking it out and do what we got to do, but I'm also not for being disrespected and being treated crummy and you cheating on me and not taking no accountability and whatnot. That's not okay. But again, like you said, we don't know both sides. We just hearing her side right now, you know what I'm saying? But, if it's meant to be, the Lord will work it out. If it's time for them to move forward as well, then the Lord will do that. But at the end of the day, just don't have that forgiveness in your heart. That's what's most important. Keep that forgiveness out of there. I mean, unforgiveness, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Forgive, you feel what I'm saying? And just let it go and keep it moving.
I feel it. I feel it. God bless her and her family.
It's true.
All right, y'all, that's the video. Go check out stamps-tv.com if you haven't already. So many shows, so much content on there. Go check it out now.
Yep, and while you're on there, go ahead and visit that Shop Stamps Apparel tab. We got t-shirts just like these on there, crew necks, hoodies, jogger sets, all different types of stuff on there. So go ahead and get you a little something.
And go check out Stamps Essentials on the website. Click that tab on the website. So much to offer. We got shampoos, protein treatments, deep conditioners, leave-in conditioners, hair grease, hair growth oil, whipped shea butter for the skin, and our signature product, Stay Moist Coils hair system. It's a wash and go system, but you can also use it for your twist outs, braid outs, and perm rod sets. So go ahead and check it out.
Yep.
We out.
See y'all.